Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So, Donald Trump has basically gained back everything, and I mean everything, since the assassination in July, which we would make an argument and claim that, you know what, that was probably Donald Trump's best moment, best opportunity to seize victory. And then here comes Kamala Harris, and all the energy for the Democrats comes back, and Donald Trump pulls at his worst. Well, it seems as if the more interviews Kamala Harris does, the more she is hurting herself. The more town halls she does, because it's actually getting closer and closer. It's 9 days, guys. Only 9 days till the big day. And Kamala Harris can't even figure out what she's going to do first. She hasn't answered any questions. Every single question that that people give her in the town hall, they ask, "Oh, what's your number one policy? What's your thing you're going to do?" She goes off into a word salad and goes off on Trump. That is because she doesn't have a plan. She is trying to filibuster that question, and she thinks you're dumb. She wants you to forget that you even answer that question, and she wants you to follow her words on Trump. She wants you to follow her words and her mouth on Trump and believe her that Trump's bad. But the thing is, Miss Harris, people want to know the answer to your question. So when you say in this regard that what's your number one policy going to be? What are you going to do first? Well, Donald Trump says the first thing I'm going to do is close that border. Well, Kamala Harris could say the first thing we're going to do is implicate a team to restore Roe v. Wade. That's a good policy, and even though ideally and realistically she can't do that, she's too dumb to even think about that. No, all she has to do is filibuster the question. And of course, every single town hall, it's like a scourging for the Kamala Harris campaign. It's like a scourging. It seems every town hall that Trump does, it helps him, and every town hall that Kamala does, it hurts her. So absolutely, it's definitely a scourging for the Kamala Harris campaign. And honestly, we know that is the sad case. So a lot of things have changed, and you cannot, with a straight face, say that Kamala Harris is leading. Like, sure, opinion polling. Yeah, I guess you're right. She's leading. But this is Wikipedia. And Wikipedia, as you know, takes everything and adds it to, like, this isn't even the top sources. We have Real Clear polling that predicted that Trump would win. And guess what? In Real Clear, Donald Trump is leading in average. He isn't leading by much, but breaking news, he is leading. That's pretty much all we need. He's leading in a Trump versus Harris national race. And that managed to change in a matter of 10 days. Sure, you got a Harris +1, and a tie at +1. I don't know if that's going to affect the average. It hasn't really affected it much, but look at that. And even if somehow miraculously Harris takes the average, it's not going to be by much. Absolutely not. I mean, Real Clear polling has stopped adding Harris plus something polls. Yeah, she gained like +4, and with these polls still, she seems to be losing the average. So that's pretty interesting. So she's pretty Real Clear polling, which is actually very accurate, by the way. I wouldn't take Wikipedia for granted. I wouldn't honestly not take Wikipedia for granted so much, simply because Wikipedia, anyone could go in and edit. I mean, like that one time where Trump was leading in Michigan, Trump was winning in Pennsylvania. I don't know. Someone went in and changed that. So, and they're not really they don't not necessarily don't really know what they're doing. But the point is, these accurate poll predictors are coming out, and they're predicting that, yeah, this is Trump's victory. And you're seeing right now that Donald Trump, he has the important states, and really, Donald Trump ideally will win in Nevada. He will win in Wisconsin. He will win in Pennsylvania. Michigan is tossed up. That is arguably Kamala Harris's best state to win in. But other than that, the Poly market says Donald Trump will obtain 298 electoral votes, more than enough to win the entire election. Okay? So yeah, updating ourselves, Donald Trump has a 60% chance in winning Pennsylvania. And I want you to think, 60% chance. Comparing that to Wisconsin, which honestly, I would say if Pennsylvania's a 60% chance, Wisconsin would be more of a almost 70% chance. Just think of it. Donald Trump just needs to turn the knob in Wisconsin by less than 1 percentage point, and he wins. I don't necessarily know why that's not registering to so much people. Like the 43% of Harris predictors, they must be NPCs. They must be white dudes for Harris or something, because that's not registering. And if you are a smart person, you wouldn't put that in the register. I mean, you're paying money for a prediction. I'm guessing, you get something back, because no one just gives money without something in return. So yes, you're giving a prediction, 65%. You're paying money, good money, for poll accuracy, and you're so confident that you're going to put money in Wisconsin, put money in a betting in Wisconsin that Harris would win, even though Harris's predecessor, Joe Biden, underperformed massively in 2020 in the state. Basically underperformed the expectation. He was supposed to win by 8 points because Trump bad, this toxic anti-Trump environment, which was dominant in the swing states, and he barely got any ground off the ground. So yeah, I'm saying yes, ideally 70% chance Trump is going to win Wisconsin, 60% chance in Pennsylvania. Georgia is 74%. 71% chance in North Carolina. You got Arizona is going to be a 74% chance, as well as a now 65% chance in Nevada. You know, like I tell you, these things change, because just I believe a week ago, this was Kamala Harris's best state, and here she was losing still. Now Donald Trump jumped, and that makes sense, because then again, Nevada isn't really a state that's really concerned about abortion. They're really not. I think they had some abortion ballot measures here and there. The abortion's in their constitution, and not to mention, you just have to go to California. Many of Nevadans either live in Reno or Las Vegas, and that's next door to California. You get your abortion there, and I can guarantee you most Nevadans get their abortions in California than Nevada. So then again, I think California, the abortion industry, unfortunately, has really benefited from there. So yeah, they're not concerned about abortion's not the number one concern in Nevada. The economy is, because Nevada is a state that's really, really driven by small business and the economy, not to mention immigration, because then again, we're so close to the southern border, and not to mention so close to the Pacific, because think of it, we are having immigrants come from all over. Most immigrants either go through the southern border, they go through the Gulf of Mexico, of course, or they go through the Pacific. And of course, Nevada being such a touristic state, of course, with Las Vegas, a big state of opportunity, that's going to attract lots of illegal migrants. So yes, I'm thinking ideally, I agree, 65% chance would be a good and accurate forecast for Donald Trump to win. Michigan, just 53%, and I would agree with that. I mean, Donald Trump just got endorsement, an important endorsement, a huge win, by the way, by the Muslim imams. Yes. Muslim Americans, which Donald Trump is leading Kamala Harris by 5 points, are making a huge return to the Republican Party. That's right. Muslims used to be dominantly Republican. Because if you think about 2000, in 2000, 74% of Muslims voted for George W. Bush. Crazy. But of course, the GOP then took this anti-Muslim stance after 9/11. And I would say this is mainly the Dick Cheney Republican and the neocons. This drove the Muslims out of the GOP and into the Democratic Party. And ever since then, we've been seeing like a 90% clip for Democrats gaining with Muslims. That is collapsed because right now, the latest number, I would say, is in a race between Trump and Harris. Harris is only leading by like 40, she's not even leading, 47% of Muslims backing Harris and 52% backing Trump. But that doesn't speak volume. Most Muslims back third party by double digit. Mostly Jill Stein or Cornel West. But common sense Muslims realizing that, you know what, Donald Trump, we know Donald Trump doesn't hate Muslims. But again, if he hated Muslims, he wouldn't invite them up on the stage, right? Let's be common sense. Come on. So these Muslims know that Donald Trump doesn't hate them, right? This is this fake news. But let's just say, since the media has just outright, blatantly just lied about and taking advantage of minority groups and creating lies that Donald Trump hates them, that has really taken off. And let's just say a lot of Muslims do think that Donald Trump hates them and just think, hey, you know what, maybe if Donald Trump hates me, who cares? Who cares? Who cares? I'm still going to vote for him because I'm voting for him by my own interests. Because, face it, there was no war during Trump. Israel and Palestine were mostly peaceful at the most part. There was a lot of banter. But Donald Trump kept the two from fighting. No war. There was, of course, a good functioning economy and even social issues, which the Muslims agree with Republicans on. And that's something where us conservatives and the Muslims share values on. We agree that the left is waging a war on families, parents, and children with their child sex operations and this transgender revolution. We agree. So, hey, you know what? And Donald Trump's doing a great job appealing to these Muslim voters. They're saying, hey, you know what? We're going to end this war in Palestine. I know you guys are voting for me. And I respect these people 100% because they're not voting because of feelings. They're voting because of common sense. They're voting on a conflict, and understandably, because this conflict is in an area where their culture and their religion is most dominant. So they have somewhat of, they're somewhat involved in this conflict. And somewhat have a lot to relate to in this conflict. So I understand these Muslims coming out and voting in favor to end the war in Gaza. Absolutely. I respect that more than voting for Jill Stein and expecting her to get in. No, she's not going to become president. Period. She can't. I mean, she has ballot access in every state, but this race is between Trump and Harris. Trump and Harris. And this isn't 1992 or 1996. Jill Stein doesn't stand a chance, and a lot of Muslims realize that. Hey, people are dying in Gaza, and we cannot mess around. We got to put the people in Gaza first, and that's what they're kind of thinking. That's why we're backing Trump, because we don't necessarily agree with Trump. We don't necessarily like Trump, but we're backing him because, you know what? People are dying in Gaza, and it's true. People are dying, and I am all for it. The war in Gaza needs to end. I think Israel has done its duty. I am pro-Israel, but I'm also pro-peace. And Donald Trump is pro-peace out of everything, and that's why these Michigander Muslims coming out and backing Trump, who is staunchly pro-Israel, yes, but they realize that Donald Trump is also non-intervention, more non-intervention than pro-Israel, and even if he wasn't, they trust that Donald Trump can end that war, and plus he has a proven track record of ending these wars. So absolutely, Muslim Americans are going to be a key in flipping the key swing state of Michigan. And yes, I'm thinking about, I was lost for a minute. But yes, we've taken a poll. We've taken our little own poll, but yes. So yes, we all heard the news. Republicans are turning out an early vote by the thousands. The GOP currently leads in Arizona, Georgia, and possibly in one Rust Belt state. I believe in early turnout. But however, how confident are you these historic numbers will give Trump the presidency? Like, we've heard a lot of crazy things in 2022 that we knew for sure Republicans were going to have a great year. Did Republicans have a great year in 2022? No, they didn't. But all these numbers got Republicans so excited. I wish I wonder if, I know Real Clear has a historic average for 2022. It's somewhere. Okay, RCP polling archive. Let's see. Midterms. Okay, yes. Ratings, final Senate results. So, yeah, I mean, ideally, this is the Senate results. But this is the toss-up. Like, look at that. Look at, guys. I mean, yeah, Washington was tossed up. You got Georgia. I mean, Georgia, we knew Republicans were going to win there. But I just want a poll. I mean, I just want a graph, okay? But governor, congressional vote. Oh, yeah, look at that. There we go. This is ridiculous. Like, look at that. It all went skyrocket high in October. Why did it? And I think, ideally, it was the fear-mongering that really did help Democrats get out. That's what I'm worried about, because Democrats, CNN especially, is doing exactly what they did in 2022. They come in and they're saying, "Oh, it's going to be the biggest red wave in years," and we all conservatives. I've seen a lot of conservatives. They're saying, "Oh, CNN's admitting it. That's a good sign." Well, yes, kinda. Because we got to remember, CNN and Democrats are sneaky, okay? They are trying to get those voters out. They are trying to get those voters out. They're trying to fearmonger to their own base. And when you have ABC News do it, you have ABC News do it, and you got, what else? CBS and PBS, all these liberal news outlets, except for MSNBC, because MSNBC is going to be too deranged to actually admit that Trump is leading, or Republicans are leading in anything. But when it comes to, in this case, this election, that's what I'm concerned about. I am really concerned. In regards to, in my view, the possibilities that we are wrong. But then again, we're turning out in the numbers. I think 2022 would have been different, and these results would have been the same if we came out and voted early. But then again, we had no reason to vote early. Like, Trump wasn't running. So then again, MAGA Republicans and Republicans in general were like, we'll vote in election day. That is why I think possibly this would be a little different. But most people in my community says 53% are confident, above water. I would say confident, put my little check mark there, 26% or 25% when I take it out. The not that confident is 11%, and I don't know is 11%. So ideally, we have 22% say, and this channel says, I don't know, while over 70%, I would say, believe that, yeah, Donald Trump should have a good chance of winning this presidency. But yes, we are turning out in the numbers. We got the numbers on our side. We've taken the average in Real Clear Politics and Real Clear Polling, whatever you want to call it. I've heard both. But what do you guys think? Let me know down below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.